everyone, I hope you're having a great day today. It's Katie at Rule 32 in Osage, Iowa. You, the viewers, have requested a video on how to get your at-home manicures to last longer. So today I'm going to take you through the steps, give you some tips and tricks, and suggest a little product that may help you, and hopefully we can get those at-home manicures lasting as long as possible. So I'm gonna be real honest with you guys. This is take number 3 at this video. The first time I recorded it, I got half of it done and then I got my hair done, so my hair would have been different in the video. Second time, the video was so long, I talked so much, kind of like I am now. I couldn't upload it, it was too big. So today I'm going to drink my coffee, use my note cards, and I have all my tools down here to show you. And we're just gonna zip through it, and I'm gonna try and keep this as short and sweet as possible. So we're gonna start it off with the complete manicure. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to remove any polish or glitter or nail polish stickers, whatever you have on those fingernails. That needs to come completely off, nothing left on there. So I would suggest using pure acetone, a nail polish remover with acetone in it, or a non-acetone nail polish. The acetone is going to be the best, and then kind of working down from there. I feel non-acetone nail polish is very, very gentle, and it does not do a whole lot for taking off nail polish. I go straight for the big dogs there with the pure acetone. So whatever works for you is great. Next, you are going to clip the nails if you feel that they are too long. I would recommend using a nail file first if you can, but if they are entirely too long, go ahead and clip. I have 2 different kinds of clippers here. One is a straight across edge, one is a curved edge. It's just going to be personal preference on shape for you. It really doesn't matter what you use. The main thing is make sure your tools are sharp, because otherwise you could create cracking, splitting, things like that in the natural nail, and you don't want to do that. After you clip the nail, you are going to file the free edge of the nail. So the free edge is going to be anything that hangs over the tip of the fingernail. On the natural nail, they suggest a grit of 180 and above. So the lower the number, the coarser it is, the higher the number, the finer it is. So 180 is about in the middle. So you're going to want to go with the 180 grit on the free edge of the nail. And when you file the free edge of the nail, you're going to want to go corner to center, corner to center, corner to center. No seesaw back and forth. Again, cracking, splitting, peeling of your nails, and that's not what you want. After you do the filing of the free edge, if you want to buff the top of the surface to kind of reduce that shine, or if you have ridges or things like that, the buffing can help. With the buffer, you don't want to use more, or you don't want to use less than 240 on the natural nail surface. So 240 and above. 240 would be the absolute most coarse that you would use, and then go finer from there. So 180 on the free edge, 240 on the natural nail. Next, you are going to push the cuticles back. This is really important to push the cuticles back, because you don't want any of that polish to go over the top of the cuticle, and then as the cuticle grows, it pushes that polish out, and you can have lifting and stuff like that. So it's just cuticle back. A couple different tools you can use. You can use an orange wood stick. You can find these at any drugstore. Sally's Beauty Supply has tons of this stuff for very affordable for at-home use. I do a lot more manicures, obviously, and pedicures, so I encounter a lot of different nail shapes. If the orange wood stick is not working for you, you can find cuticle pushers in all different shapes and sizes. They have different curvatures to them depending on what the curvature of your nail is, and you can sanitize them in between use. This one you can just throw away. Also, the orange wood stick is really good for when you go to polish. You can clean up around the edges and get rid of that extra nail polish on the skin. So I would also like to add, before you push the cuticles, put some cream on your cuticles, rub it in around the base of the fingernail. Give it about 30 seconds to a minute to kind of soften that cuticle, then go ahead and push those cuticles back. After you push the cuticles back, you may have a little bit of extra cuticle or extra skin, or even if you have any like little pieces of skin that are sticking out around the fingernail, I don't know if you can see that, stuff like that, you're gonna wanna clip that. Otherwise, I would think you would want to pick at it or chew it, and if you do that, you're gonna tear your skin. It's gonna be bad news. So cuticle nippers, these are awesome too. Again, you can buy them at a drugstore, you can buy them at Sally's Beauty Supply. Main thing with these, make sure it's sharp, because if you go to cut that skin, you're gonna rip it, you're gonna cause problems, it's not gonna be good. So cuticle nipping, remove that skin. At this point, you need to take a break and you need to go wash your hands with soap and water. Work around those cuticles really good. Make sure there's no oil or lotions or anything left on those fingernails. Dry your hands really good, including your fingertips, and meet me back here. Okay, so a little recap. We removed the polish and any glitter or anything that was on the nail. We trimmed them if necessary, shaped them, buffed the top surface if necessary, went ahead and pushed those cuticles and clipped any excess skin or anything around the edges of the fingernail that we would be tempted to bite or chew or pick or do anything like that. We washed everything off. Now we are ready to polish. So again, just one more added layer of helping that manicure stay a little bit better. I know you've washed your hands really good and dried your hands, but at this point I would take the nail polish remover again and go ahead and wipe those nails. Here at the shop I have a special solution that we use. It's a nail cleanser, but essentially it's going to do the same thing that a nail polish remover would do. You're just getting rid of those extra oils or any lotions or anything that you missed when you washed your hands. So go ahead and do that. The next step that I do before I put any polish on in the shop is I use a pH bond. What that does is brings the pH level of the natural nail back to normal so that everything will perform at its best. Most people at home do not do this step, and it's not necessarily recommended or like you have to do it. But if you've tried all these steps at the end and you still are not getting really good wear out of your at-home manicures, let me know and I can get something like that for you through one of my distributors, a pH bond or a Band-Aid or something like that. Now we're gonna polish. So number one, I would say you wanna make sure you're using a high quality polish. Here at the shop, I use Morgan Taylor and Gelish is their comparable system. I do have some other polishes that I really like that I have for in-house manicures here, but the majority of what I retail is Morgan Taylor and Gelish. No, this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. I just really like their product. It's the best gel system I've ever used, and I just love the at-home wear for their Morgan Taylor polish as well. All right, so now we are going to polish. We're gonna do 1 layer of base coat, 2 to 3 layers of color, depending on coverage and how you think it looks. If you want it to be more sheer or more full cover, sometimes you do 3 coats because you want it just to be a thicker layer and to wear a little bit better. So totally up to you, 2 to 3 coats of color, and then 1 to 2 top coats, depending on, again, how well it dries for you, how well it wears. If you want it to last a little bit longer, you can do 2 coats of top coat. I would allow 30 seconds to a minute in between each coat of polish to allow that to dry. So Morgan Taylor has a base coat and it is Stick With It. What the base coat does is it puts a protective layer there over your natural nail so that the color does not penetrate and stain your nail. Also, it creates an adhesive layer almost so that the polish will stick to it better. So if you've not been using base coat, you really should be. That is a huge game change. Then you're going to apply 2 to 3 coats of your polish color. And then you're going to do 1 to 2 coats of top coat. Top coat for Morgan Taylor is Stick With It. Make it last. Sorry, it's Make It Last. Okay, make it last, and it does, it makes it last. So definitely I would suggest using a professional product. You would be really surprised the difference in wear between your drugstore polishes and your professional polishes. Okay, I'm gonna finish you off here with a couple tips and tricks. Number 1 thing that you can try to extend your manicures, go ahead and throw an extra top coat on there every other day or every 3rd day. That's going to seal down those edges, does prevent any lifting or splitting or anything like that, drying out of the polish if you just seal down that top layer every other day or every 3 days, or even, you know, every 4th day, whatever it is. That's just gonna give you another protective layer. Protective gear: if you are in water or chemicals, you should be wearing gloves. I know I'm guilty of it too. I don't do a good job of it here, and I definitely notice that on the wear of my at-home manicures. They don't last as long because I don't protect the nail. It's just nail polish. It's not a suit of armor. So, you know, you can do everything in your power to try and make them last as long as possible, but if you're not doing all of the steps, it's not going to wear as well. So wear your gloves. It's important. Fresh product. If your nail polish is more than 18 to 24 months old, you probably need to pitch it. It's not good anymore. Also, extreme temperature changes. If it's gotten really, really hot or really cold, or really, if it's frozen or something like that recently, that product has gone through all kinds of temperature changes. It's probably separated. It could just be junk. So just pitch it. I would say invest in really good polish. You know, it is hard to find colors that you want, but you know, just, yeah, I would say if it's an old product, pitch it, get something new. Cuticle oil. Cuticle oil is really important. And really, you don't even have to use specific cuticle oil. You can rub essential oils, you can use olive oil, you can use whatever, lotion that is oil-based. But your cuticles get dry, and that affects how your polish wears too. Or if your cuticles are dry and you are picking at them and doing things like that, that is affecting how your polish is wearing. So cuticle oil, I would say at least once a day, probably before bedtime, so it sits on there all night. Just kind of rub it in there. It's like a little pampering thing for you before bed, so you know. Alcohol-based hand sanitizers and hand washes, those can be a really bad thing for your at-home manicures. I know you can't really get away from it right now. It's kind of what we're living with, but just keep that in mind, that that's going to affect you. And that's why a lot of people have gone to gel, because it lasts a little bit longer, but it's harder to do at home, and I get that. It's totally fine. Talk to you about specialized top coats and things like that you can use, nail strengtheners. I really like OPI Nail Envy. I usually have a couple of these in the shop too. If you know you're not into putting polish on your nails, you can put this over polish, but if you're into just doing clear, just to strengthen whatever, the OPI Nail Envy is really good to do one coat every day for 7 days. At the end of 7 days, take it all off, start over, just to really help make those nails healthy and grow and be good. So all in really good conjunction with the full manicure process though. So follow the steps of the manicure and it'll be great. All right, so that wraps it up. I think I gave you guys a pretty good idea of some steps and tips and tricks, things you can try to get those at-home manicures to last longer. I want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate all the feedback that you guys have given me. Really, all of you guys, your comments, the texts, the messages, the emails, the things you guys are sending me, it really keeps me going. It's motivating me. As much as I really don't like doing these videos, you guys are reaching out to me and telling me that you love them and they are helping and they're inspiring you and you're learning things. So if you keep telling me what you want to see, I'll keep making videos and do the best that I can. So again, thank you so much for your feedback and thank you for watching. I don't want you guys to miss anything, so if you're not out on my YouTube channel, definitely go out there, like it, subscribe it, whatever you need to do. Search Rule 32 channel. If you can't find it, shoot me a message, reach out to me, and I will send you a link to that. Also on Facebook, I have a business page, Rule 32. Like that page and you'll get notifications. Instagram, Rule32_OsageIA, and I'm out on TikTok at Rule32Osage. So definitely let me know if you have any other topics you want me to cover. And thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.